Welcome to Fireside Giants. My name is Alex, and the co-host here, Anthony Rivardo. Today, we are taking a look at Micah Parsons coming up to play the Giants on Sunday. And for goodness sakes, Parsons, this guy is having an absolutely electrifying rookie season. And Anthony and I and a lot of other people saw him as the top defensive player in this most recent draft class. The Giants passed on him to trade back and get Kadarius Toney in a first-round pick. The jury is still out on if that'll be more valuable over the long term than Micah Parsons would have been. But ultimately, this is an interesting scenario, right? Because Micah Parsons is a stud. And we'll talk about his statistics. We'll talk about just how good he really is and how the Dallas has used him to really maximize his capabilities. But do we regret? I know it's, like I said, the jury's still out, but do we regret not taking Micah Parsons? And before we dive into all this good stuff, Anthony, my friend, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Saw Spider-Man last night. Maybe my favorite movie ever. Very happy right now. But get a little bit sad when I think about Micah Parsons. Is he the one that got away? And he very well could be. I always thought he was an elite defender. I thought he was a surefire, like elite prospect. He was can't miss. It's rare that you find prospects in the draft that are can't miss. And I thought that Micah Parsons was a can't miss prospect. And, I really wanted the Giants to select him at 11 overall. They went ahead and traded down. I love the decision to trade down. I love that we get a first round pick in this upcoming 2022 NFL draft. But Micah Parsons now on a division rival just stings a little extra. If he goes to a different team, not a division rival, it's like, oh man, that sucks, but it's okay. But now the Giants had the opportunity to get this guy. And now for the next 10, 15 years, maybe, they're going to have to go up against him twice a year. And he's going to be tormenting the division. So that really sucks to me, especially because of how big of a Micah Parsons fan I was personally. I really just thought that he was an elite talent, and I really wanted to see him on the Giants. I thought that he could be our next great defensive player that we haven't had in so long, like a truly great from start to finish throughout his career. Great defensive player, and I think that's what he's going to be for Dallas, unfortunately. I love the way they use him, getting him on the edge, making him a pass rusher. He's really versatile. He's really athletic. He's really strong. He was a perfect prospect. I don't know how else to put that. He was nearly flawless. So it really sucks to see him being so successful with the Dallas Cowboys, but I can't say that I'm surprised in the slightest.
I'm not surprised at all. We said this guy is going to be a stud. He's fast. He's electric. He sheds blocks and tacklers blockers like nobody I've ever seen. Coming out of college like that. Like he is just so physical and like people just fall off of him. He's so quick and fast too, and his instincts, man. He's like such an instinctual player matched up with elite physical attributes. Like you can't really get better than that. Seeing him on Dallas like literally pains my heart because they had an electrifying offense last year. They knew we need to improve our defense, and they went and they did that, right? The Giants, knowing that their offensive line was hot garbage, invested way too much in wide receiver and didn't solve their offensive line. So you see how teams that are actually functioning and know what the hell to do go and actually bolster positions that they need help with. And instead, the Giants, of course, Dallas got Trayvon Diggs. They got, Micah Parsons. They got a couple good guys, Devontae KZ. And the Giants did absolutely nothing to bolster positions of weakness. And that's what bad teams do. They freaking miss. They missed. And Dave Gettleman put on his blinders and looked the other way. And I don't really get it. He said to us, oh, the young guys got to play. They're going to be good. We have more faith in our offensive line. And faith doesn't mean shit if your guys suck. So this is where we at right now. But Micah Parsons, man, nobody wanted to pass on him, right? So I'll say this. If I could go back right now, Micah Parsons on the board for the Giants. Do I trade back still? Knowing what I know now, I probably would have taken Micah Parsons, to be real. I probably would have taken him because he is going to be what Dave Gettleman thought Saquon Barkley was going to be. He is a gold jacket level player. He is, listen to his stats at this point in the season. 12 sacks, right? They moved him to outside linebacker like after 3 or 4 games, right? So they transitioned his position and he has 12 sacks, 75 combined tackles, 27 quarterback hits, and 17 tackles for a loss to go with 3 forced fumbles. As a rookie at 22 years old, you are not going to find better statistics for a rookie. He has gold jacket written all over him. Now, injuries could plague his career just like Saquon, but it's unlikely because he's not a freaking running back. So that's really where we're at right now. Micah Parsons seems to be a sure thing if I knew what I knew now. And I feel like we knew this because we all anticipated this to happen. He was going to be this good. I would have taken Micah Parsons, but Kadarius Toney I think is going to be really good for the Giants. Now I think he's going to deal with injuries his entire career. His quick movements, his agility makes him very susceptible to those things. Makes him very susceptible to ankle twists, lower body injuries for the most part. So I think he's going to deal with it throughout his career. But ultimately, if he can make an impact, I think he'll be a great player for us. Now, if this draft pick ends up becoming a good stud offensive tackle that may be a guy that stifles Micah Parsons in the future, then hell, like it'll end up being better. But right now, the draft is a crapshoot. You never know. Your coaches may never develop a guy properly. So you're looking at Micah Parsons saying he's a sure thing. He's a stud. Like I would go back and I would trade for I would take Micah Parsons because of that specifically. I don't know what the Giants are going to do with this Bears pick, so it's hard to say, Anthony. But if you could go back, I know it's a big like what if scenario, but what do you think you would do?
Yeah, the problem is you're saying if you know what you know now, you would take Micah Parsons. But we don't know what we know in April, right? The Giants could have made this trade down, sacrificed Micah Parsons to fix their offensive line. In April, they might land Evan Neal with the Chicago Bears pick. And then we're going to say, oh, so it wasn't really Micah Parsons for Kadarius Toney. It was Micah Parsons for Kadarius Toney and Evan Neal. So it's going to change based on what we do with that pick in the first round of the 2022 NFL draft. So knowing what I know now, yeah, I wish Micah Parsons was a New York Giant. But knowing what I might know in April, that makes it a little bit more complicated and a lot different. It's a complex subject when you discuss that because if the Giants fix their offensive line in this upcoming draft and they sacrifice Micah Parsons to fix their offensive line, then it is worth it to me because the offensive line is an issue that the Giants have had for nearly a decade at this point. They just have not been able to get it fixed. So if they had to sacrifice an elite defensive prospect, long-term Hall of Fame potential linebacker / edge rusher, they had to sacrifice that to get their offensive line in order for the next 5 to 10 to 15 years, then I'm okay with it, honestly, because the offensive line is the biggest issue surrounding the New York Giants, and they have to get it fixed. So trading down in the draft, they got that extra first-round pick. We're all pretty sure it's going to be allocated to the offensive line. So that's ultimately how I see it. I don't see it as trading Micah Parsons away for Kadarius Toney. I view it as trading him away to fix the offensive line. But that could also change in April. What if the Giants don't draft an offensive lineman in the first round? Well, then we're all going to be livid, and then we're all going to be saying, God damn, I wish they just drafted Micah Parsons and didn't trade down in the first place. So it's all subject to what happens in April, in my opinion. But right now, all I know is for sure Micah Parsons was the can't miss prospect that I expected him to be. He's going to terrorize the Giants offensive line no matter how well they build it for the next 10 years. I mean, even if the Giants go out there and they have 2 all-pro offensive tackles, Micah Parsons is still going to be a handful for them to handle. Like, it's just going to be a lot. He is that good. He's really freaking talented. It's just the size, strength, athleticism combination, and then the technical skill as well. He was always technically advanced as a pass rusher. He got comparisons to Anthony Barr. Anthony Barr was playing linebacker or was playing edge rusher, then switched to linebacker. And we all said that maybe Micah Parsons can play linebacker, then switch to edge rusher. And that's exactly what he's done because he was just the most technically advanced inside linebacker from a pass rushing standpoint that the draft has seen in years. And it's showing up. Now he's a phenomenal edge rusher for the Dallas Cowboys. They've changed the defensive scheme around him. And that's what you have to do. When you get a really good, talented young player, you build the scheme around that player, something that the Giants have struggled to do in recent years as well. So Micah Parsons, phenomenal talent. Am I saying with what I know now, would I have taken him? No, because I'm going to wait to see what I know in April once the Giants have spent this second first-round pick. Then I will let you know how I feel about this. But right now, yeah, it does suck that I said it at the beginning of the video. He might be the one that got away. But let's see how we use that first-round pick in April because that could definitely reduce the blow and make this all better.
Make this all better, man. Those are the words that I so desperately hang on to going to sleep every single night. Can it get better? But guys, I think the funniest thing that's happened today is the Giants releasing an announcement that they're giving out free medium sodas if you're a season ticket holder. I mean, guys, if 4 consecutive losing seasons under Dave Gettleman wasn't enough, if watching this team implode from the inside out, if watching us get cremated by Dallas on Sunday without any of our players available, if that is worthy of a free medium soda, God help me. I feel like I'd rather just not take the medium soda if I was a season ticket holder. I'd just be like, screw your medium soda. That is like the biggest slap in the face. We're so sorry our team absolutely freaking blows. Here's a medium soda to go with your troubles. That's us paying for therapy or your medium ginger ale. It's absolute freaking bullshit. Like it actually Like, how did they think people were going to respond to that? Thank you for being season ticket holders. Our product blows, but here's a medium soda. It's just like absolutely, it hurts to actually see that shit. It's hilarious though, because it's just like so tone deaf to what's going on right now with the organization. They just completely just whiff on these things. It's just unbelievable. If anything, they should be giving out bobbleheads of Xavier McKinney or Andrew Thomas to these people and not freaking sodas. It's just hurts. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe below on YouTube as always, and we'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Giants episode.